Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2019 video. Today we are doing something I've been waiting to bring you for a long time. There's two things in this actually. One of them you already know from the screenshot, and the other you'll know from the title. This is of course the Doncaster to Leeds extension. Please do note this is not available yet. This is very much still work in progress. I'm very lucky to be able to show it off. I was able to show it off on stream a while ago, and I can show it off in a video. So I wanted to wait until there was a scenario worthy of showing it off. And that has been done by the wonderful Chris Horsfield. The other thing I need to show you off is the reskin, which you'll already see, it's 91119. The version I've got, as far as I'm aware at the moment, isn't going to be available, but there is one that is just as good coming from Train Sim Designs, and that should be out ASAP. So again, both things in this are work in progress. They're not available. But to keep up to date with how that's going, head over to the Facebook page. Links in the description below. Join me on Twitch on a Sunday night from 7 PM and a Wednesday night from 7 PM. And actually tonight, funnily enough, because it's a Friday and I've got it off, so I'm doing a stream tonight. But you won't get this video till like tomorrow, I don't think, anyway. Do feel free to like, share and subscribe, of course. So 119 is what we are driving. We are here at Peterborough, which is got some lovely stuff. Right, so good morning driver, good morning and welcome to Peterborough and LNR service 1 Delta 01. You have been called in as a relief driver due to originally being taken ill. Lovesick with his new livery, it would seem. You'll take this 0555 King's Cross to Leeds service all the way to Leeds, calling it Grantham, Newark, Retford, Doncaster, Wakefield, Westgate and Leeds. Open the door for your passengers to board and get the train set up for departure. Okay, my doors are open, my master key is on, I'm in neutral. That is done. Marker lights are on, headlights are on, cab lights, instrument lights are on dim. DIA is off and speed set is set to 25. Departing both ways out of Peterborough, you tend to get a 25 limit. You'll also see over there, there's the 3D Zug crane. There's a new reskin of that actually in Colas livery, which I will be covering at some point soon, which is very nice. So the Doncaster Leeds route is a bolt-on to the Creative Rails Peterborough-York route. It will also be included in the East Coast Mainline merge. That is something that is still very heavily work in progress, but I'm hoping that that is released soon enough, if I'm honest. Soon enough. I'm hoping it sort of goes hand in hand with the LNR HSDs, which are a little bit delayed as we speak, but should be available very soon. It's been a very busy week. It's a very busy couple of weeks for me. Just to give you a heads up on a couple of things that have been going on. So my new website is near enough ready to launch. And there will be space on there for you guys, once vetted, to be able to upload your own scenarios onto there. But there'll also be some really cool, interesting things coming with that I'll let you know more about soon. I was also at Whalley, I keep getting mixed up with them. Whalley Model Railway exhibition last Saturday. Model railways are my thing. I haven't been into them that much since I have been doing a lot more of the train sim stuff, so therefore it was really nice to get out and see some of the stuff that the producers are coming out with in the model railway market, notably the new APT, the Engage 390, there's the 92 as well, the Engage 92. I was really quite taken aback actually at the level of detail in Engage these days. I also fell massively in love with a new Bachmann 90, which was beautiful. I'll give you guys a look here. So this is of course 91119 in the exquisite In-City Swallow. Now most of you will know 91's probably my favourite loco, and In-City Swallow is my era. That is the era that I love the most. And to be able to drive an In-City Swallow livery 91 on the East Coast Main Line again, in this day and age, is something that really excites me. Oh, there's the Maritime, the MSC 66, and Chris's new GBRF reskinned wagons. They are available as far as I'm aware. Oh, quick update on that for Chris's website. So CH Scenarios is down at the minute. A few people have commented on that in the links. What is happening with that? So Chris's site, along with several other train simulator freeware developers, will all be combining into my website. The final details of that aren't complete yet, but that's pretty much the plan. So Chris's stuff will be up ASAP on my site. Yeah, where was I? Wally, the Backman 90 looked lovely. It was a road freight distribution livery one that I was very, very keen on. I also had the pleasure, and I say this in true honesty, the pleasure of meeting Mr. Peddleson. I won't lie, it was a little awkward to start with. But what a gentleman. What an absolute gentleman. Also met a couple of the Vulcan Productions guys and a few of my regular boys, so people like Mole Junction, Kev Butler, Klaus, Ash, especially Red Black. There's quite a few people from the stream there as well. And there's several of you guys that I met when I was there as well and did some photos with you and all that. It was a really good day. Had a really good chat with Mr. P. He was nothing but polite. I didn't expect any less, you know what I mean? But what I did manage to do was confirm that his passion is there, and that he really is a very, very passionate man. And he has the same sort of view of train sim and train sim world and the hopes that we do. Of course, he's just caught up in a company that decides whether he can do that or not. Does sort of go to show the pressures, I suppose. I'm not going to get too into that because I say commercial pressure too often. I'm getting a bit bored of my own voice saying it. But yeah, really nice chat. And he's also joined the Facebook group, which I thought was really, really helpful. And I've also just seen he's also posted his first little help query. Somebody's asked for a bit of help and he's popped in and helped there as well. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Making those connections with people like DTG and all of that. It is the community, and that's what I like about it. And people that share the same vision for the community as us, I am more than happy to have in my group, and Mr. P does have that, along with the next group of people I went to meet. So I was at the Epinonga Railway on Wednesday, so not yesterday, the day before, and had a fantastic day out there. What a little railway that is. I say little, it's not, I think it's about 5 or 6 miles. But the gradients on that railway are something else. We were top and tailing. I can't even explain to you the sort of. I can. I'll be honest. I can explain easily what happened. So those of you know that if you're not in the UK, just for you guys, the weather has been not brilliant the past couple of days over here. We've had a lot of rain and high winds, and due to the Epinonga Railway being closed for the season, basically, the track we were using hadn't had anything over it for several weeks, I think it was, and they sent a 31 out beforehand just to try and sort of clear the railhead a little bit. When we went out and what we were in, we had the 31 in the back and 3 Mark 2s, 3 Mark 2s, 3 Mark 1s actually, I think they were. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really see the rest of the train because we spent most of the day in the cab and what we were in. And I can't even remember what the numbers were on the gradients, but they are extreme. One point there is a bridge that looks like it's from Just Trains Newcastle Edinburgh. It literally, the track goes like that. It's fantastic, but it means you can really get the load on the engine. You can really make the engines make some actual noise. So we had a tree fall on the line. We had a complete total signalling failure. We had huge amounts of wheel slip. We were controlling, so there was a driver and a second man in the 31, a driver, a second man, me, Geordie from MKS, and Richard in the cab of the train we were in, the loco we were in, and the driver of the 37 we had, because of the amount of wheel slip we were getting, we couldn't get into a high enough notch without wheel slipping. And whilst you want a bit of wheel slip for the recordings, you don't want it all the time. So we were getting the 31 to get us up to 10 mile an hour. Then we were starting at the loco we were in, and it was a really, really, really complicated way of doing things. But both drivers we had at the Epinonga were superbly professional. I mean, really, really professional. The driver we had was a 757 and 767 pilot in real life, and did this as part, like, a hobby sort of thing. And he was also a BR driver back in the day. His radio discipline was something else. He was just an absolute gentleman and a true professional. I have massive respect for both crews on the locos we had. A total signalling failure, so the S&T guy was in the relay room sorting stuff out. We couldn't move. We had to get out and cut the tree down across the line. I didn't have to, thankfully. One of the second man that was with us in our cab went out and did all those bits. But it was just a really, really enjoyable day. There was things that happened that day that a driver might go, some drivers might go their whole career without having. It was really good, really, really good. On the train sim note of that, what we actually have is I got to meet Geordie from Master Simulations. So this is the guy that is part of Master Simulations, this sort of core of it. He's also the guy that had done a lot of the stuff with DTG recently. Well, his company as such. And I was mightily impressed with this fella. He is an incredibly knowledgeable man. Incredibly knowledgeable. I got about people's passion. Geordie has a passion for certain things, which is not for others. He has no idea about a lot of things, which I found fascinating. And the fact that he can just turn his hand to these things is brilliant. What Geordie has is a passion for simulation and a passion for things being right. Not necessarily the trains, but he wants to get them right, so he goes in depth with everything to make sure they are right. And that just came through in everything he did, and the conversations we had. Really down to earth, really lovely bloke. Richard again was spot on, had a really, really nice time. Spoke a lot about things to come. I didn't get told anything that's coming from AP. I might know something about MKS, but nothing from AP. Richard's always very, very tight-lipped when it comes to things like that. But just a massive shout out to the guys at the Epinonga Railway and Richard and Geordie for having me again as well. So what I can say is that the future is bright, and I'm not going to say the future is orange. The train sim market there are some very, very, very big things coming. Lots of little projects being worked on, lots of big projects being worked on, lots of things that will bring lots of things together. So it is really, really exciting at the moment. Really exciting. For me anyway, for you guys as well. Moving on to sort of I'm not going to talk too much about train sim world, so I'm going to cover the 33 and talk about that a little bit more in that video. We did talk about the future in the train sim world, and Geordie MKS has already made it very clear they will not be doing anything for Master Key Simulations at the moment. Richard, on the other hand, hasn't confirmed nor denied, in true Richard form. In true Richard form. He's not confirmed or denied what he's doing with it. I'll come on to train sim world in the next video. So yeah, the reason I was happy to do this route and show this off today as well was just because it's just another one of those freeware things that we've been waiting for a long, long time that no payware developer's done. I mean, Doncaster-Leeds, realistically, 30 odd miles. Is it 30 odd miles, I think? And this part of this route, remember I said this is heavily work in progress when we get past Doncaster and over to Leeds. Heavily work in progress. Some assets are placeholders. Some of the track work still needs doing. Some of the points and stuff really do still need doing. But it's way playable and way drivable. But they've got to this stage, I think they said within 6 weeks. It's unreal. Talking of speed, in more ways than one. I actually saw Speedy Pete again, so of XC-ROUTE fame and Missing Link. I saw him on Monday, had a beer and a bit, dinner with Pete on Monday, and he was talking about certain things. We were talking about the time that it takes to do things, and then I was sitting having a chat with Geordie about certain other little projects and things and the time it takes to do stuff. The guy can do things miraculous. I think the 158 cab was 4 days, start to finish. Mind blowing. That was without all the baking and stuff, but actually modelling and texturing without having to do all the processing and the baking, 4 days. Pretty crazy. So the guy's borderline genius. Oh, well, I'd go full front and say he's genius, to be honest with you. Incredibly, incredibly good. So it goes to show that things can be done quite quickly. I think we are seeing a massive increase in speed for things. That we're leaving a lot of the commercial developers in the dust for certain bits and pieces. I know there are several reasons why the Just Trains Cornish main line has been delayed. But if you look at that, what 2 years, 3 years maybe? And I know that's a big route, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying there are many routes. The Missing Link is a fair distance, and that is better detailed than anything I think JT have released so far. Well, no, Aylesbury, London Aylesbury is very, very nice. But of course, it hasn't got overhead wires, it's got a third rail and all of that stuff and underground stuff. So you can't really compare the two, but just out of speed and things like that and quality, some of the freeway guys really are showing up some of the payware people at the minute. And I know there's an awful lot more that goes into it. There's an awful lot more management of things. And it seems to be the bigger your team gets, the much harder it is to make it happen. So keep your team small, guys. Keep your team small. But yeah, this route is looking superb. I've streamed it twice. I think I've streamed it. I streamed a 3C1 scenario, and this scenario I've streamed as well. So I thought it was only fair that you guys get to see it. I do try and keep Twitch and YouTube quite separate. You guys know that, because a lot of you that watch my YouTube will not like my Twitch. Some of you will. Quite a lot of you do. But quite a lot of you won't either. It's a lot more adult in its nature, and by that I mean nudity. I mean, think of it a bit like going to the pub and talking about trains. I can probably say a lot more on Twitch than I can on YouTube. But I like that. I like that difference. I like to keep YouTube child friendly, Twitch not. So the track bleeds in this route, they are being sorted for the merge and also for a few other bits and pieces. This is something that I did have a fix for, and I cannot find the file for love nor money to get the new track back up a little bit. I know you can do it through Railworks tools, and I should have really given that a go. We've got Mark 4 set, what's on the back? Ooh. I'm sure there will be a few special logos on things that Chris will be shouting at the screen. You didn't show off that one! I do apologise, Chris. Does look truly stunning. Oh, I am actually speeding. It wasn't the stupid. TS bug that says you're doing things and you're not. This is like the wrong time to be checking this, but it is. Necessary, I do apologise. Grantham's one of these stations that I'm famous for missing. So I'm going to take a very cautious approach into Grantham. Unfortunately, the birthplace of Thatcher. But also where all the 91s, these yards to our left was where a lot of the turning back on the 91 test trains was when these were being commissioned. I've mentioned it before, but a guy called Abset1989 on YouTube has masses of videos from this car park here of the 91 tests. Head on over to him, give him a little bit of a like and subscribe. He's brilliant for things like that. We're a bit early. Well, still going through that 115 at 125. Oh no, sorry, not early at all. That was 2 minutes late. 2 minutes 23 seconds late. 1:15 by the time we get there, I reckon. So the new livery, so the wrap, the vinyl wrap, it's not been painted, it is vinyl, and people moan because actually on the real one these stripes are slightly too high. It's not. I'd never expected it to be an exact replica. This Swallow livery was very, very precisely done on the 91s. And there's a lot of people out there that, me personally as well, I would love to see the whole train vinyled in Swallow. Of course I would, but it's completely outrageous. The cost of doing that far outweighs any benefit whatsoever. I will say that putting this in Swallow has done them the world of good, because the publicity I think they've probably got is very, very high. There have been more posts about this train and more pictures of this train than I think any of the other power cars that I've seen done, any of the HST ones or anything like that. It's quite remarkable, really. I think every group, and knowing that I like them, I've had an awful lot of people sending me private messages of their photos of it and all sorts, which I appreciate. I might not get all your private messages. The problem I have is because I get so many people doing it, I only check it every now and again, because they'll automatically go into I've got a manager that automatically puts things, if I don't know who you are or what you're talking about, if I don't know you're coming, it goes into a folder that I have to manually check. Same with friend requests. So next up, Newark. That's Retford, isn't it? Doncaster at 48 minutes past. About half an hour to Doncaster, then we'll be on the route. It's very nice seeing that. What's going on there? Oh, I have some issues going on. Okay, that's one for clouds, hence why this pack isn't released yet. Right, so I might whilst you're looking at time, use a little bit of async keys to speed us up after Newark. So between Newark, Retford, Doncaster. Because you guys have all seen this before, this is the Creative Rails version of the route anyway. There is a video coming how to do this yourselves, guys, I do promise you that. It is on its way. I don't usually like doing this in videos, but this video will become very, very long if I don't. Let's be honest, while it's not the worst route in the world, it's also not one of the best. It fills a gap, yeah. And I've actually made that time up quite nicely, to be fair. Let's get the doors open there. Get these passengers on, then we can move ahead. Sorry guys, just got to catch up with this 2 seconds. We're good to go again, are we? Could I open the doors? Peterborough will depart from platform. So we're good to go, okay. Retford in 18. So too bad with the magic of async keys, we'll be there in no time. I won't async keys any of the new bit of the route, I promise you. And then when there's AI coming and stuff, I'll slow it down. What's the date today? to 30th. Oh. Okay. Oh, let's do the flat crossing. Right, let's get this up and moving. Now there'll be a lot of you going, how do I speed the game up? How do I speed the game up? Before, if you want to do this before my video, just Google async keys. So A as in the letter A, and then CYNC like sync cable, not like a sync like a tap sync, like syncing a phone to a computer. Async keys, you will find it. Well, put async keys in Train Simulator, you'll find it. So you have 5 different speeds. Well, you don't. You have 4. You do get 5, I suppose. You've got 1 speed, 2 speed, 3 speed, 4 speed, and 5 speed for async keys, which means you can run at different speeds dependent on what you like. I don't remember there being that much in front of me on this, actually, to be fair. But we'll soon find out, I'm sure. Oh no, it's because we're coming into Retford. We're going to be a bit fast taking that junction. You hear the 180 sitting over there in the other platform. Oh, I was going to show you the destinations on that. Chris has redone those. So they look quite good. I love the 180 anyway. I'm quite pleased Albie's got quite fond of them as well. Gosh, she looks good. Don't like that angle there. It's nice to hear the train sim forklift is in full operation today. Yes, let's get into Doncaster and do this properly, eh? So I know there is a guy out there working on an actual upgrade for the Creative Rails route. I'd like to get a look at that at some point and start showing off what's been done with it. So it's a route ripe for a bit of modernisation, I think. Those of you that want to see this route properly from start to finish, you can go and watch some older videos. There is a lot about, I think there's about 3 or 4 videos on this route alone, covering both north and south journeys. We'll start thinking about the approach into Doncaster soon, about nowish.
I would say.
So it's really bad playing with 18 keys, because then when you actually come to drive at normal pace, you can be like that. Oh, this is slow. God, look at these yards full of stuff. Fantastic. Cemex. See, with these track textures sorted out, the terrain bleeds, this route wouldn't look that bad. That's why I'm quite happy to skip it. There's a few on the Doncaster-Leeds section, but not a lot. And they will all be really fine by the time we're even looking at close to being released with that. I think you'd be fine. I say we like I'm involved with that. I'm not at all. Oh, it's really sad what's going on with the HSTs, because they're the LNR ones as well. The only thing I could think is maybe if we installed anything from Ash's stuff the other day that's maybe messed them about. BBMF over there. Bit of a stutter. If I remember rightly, Chris said pull right up to the signal here. I think suspicion it doesn't change, or I might need to tab it or something. As well, the loaned power cars. Oh yeah, they're all reversed and not looking very good at all. Sorry, Tails! I don't know why they've done that. The Mark 3 coaches are actually done, as far as I'm aware. They look very, very good. I don't know why they're doing that. Right, Wakefield Westgate. Yeah, it doesn't even let me tab that. It thinks it's an error, but it's not. It's to do with the signalling at the merge point. It's just slightly irritating. So this isn't as bad. Which I'm quite capable of having many of those. This one isn't. It's about 19-20 miles to Westgate, Wakefield Westgate. And we're on the new route pretty much as we diverge off the East Coast Main Line here. So I'm excited to be showing you this. Really excited to be showing you this. So this is it. Pacer waiting to get into Donny there. So welcome, Peterborough-Leeds. Does put a big smile on my face. It's a really doable journey. Leeds King's Cross. It's a doable journey in not a massive amount of time, a couple of hours, and it's still a full, pretty long distance run. It's not, and same as sort of like King's Cross York. They're all pretty doable. So there are, before we even get through this, there are bits wrong, and we know there are bits wrong, and they know there are definitely bits that are quite erroneous, but they are being worked on. It's not a big issue. It is where so if you want to comment, just think carefully. Think carefully. It's a bit like the whole I live in Wakefield and that dog poo bin isn't on the correct lamppost. Not particularly helpful. We've got there 3, 2, 1. Are they 3, 2, 1s there in Yorkshire? Are they 3, 2, 2s? I never remember. I think it's 3, 2, 1s as they class them. I still don't know. Yeah, 3, 2, 1s. What I should say is, because I know somebody will ask, this is the northern reskin for the 321 that's available from DPS. It was actually done by Wagons, I think. It's available through DPS's website, which is linked in the description below. So see, a lot of these points are set as manual. That's just the way it's being tested at the minute, and getting things right. They will all go back to being how they should be, when the new track's down and everything. Yes, it must be about 30 miles, I reckon. So we're doing 22. So really what I like about this route is the mix of the 2D trees with the 3D trees. I think it gives you the definition you're going to need for it, as well as not hitting your frames ridiculously, which is nice. I love this little bit here. I think there's like fishing lakes or something. So don't worry about the detail on a lot of this. So the final railside details, so line side trunking, drainage, culverts, all that sort of thing haven't been put in yet. They are what is being worked on now, and a lot of the track work and some of the overhead line work as well. So again, I'm not going to do a massively detailed, this is this station, this is this station. Just because they're not finished. Well, some of the 2D stuff here can look a little bit repetitive. And for those of you that don't understand what I mean by 2D and 3D stuff, here you have the 2D bushes. So if we go up and look at them, they're actually just, they move with us, you see? Whereas, where's some 3D? None around here. See all the trees, you can see it much better with the trees. So they're actually that thin. But they turn to where the camera's pointing, so you don't tend to notice it so much, which isn't too bad. Snap service. What's that going to be? Another 91. We don't need to worry about signals on this. It ain't ready yet. Just got to be a little bit careful at Leeds. That's it. So the possibilities with this are brilliant, especially with the merged route as well. Doing that whole journey from Leeds to King's Cross is a really good one. King's Cross back up to Leeds in a 91 or a 90. When we get the 373 from Atlantic High Speed, we've got the white rose runs. It's put a smile on my face, put it that way. It really has put a smile on my face. With some of the work in progress shots I've seen of the detailing going into this, it's going to look amazing. Dom's eye, Dom Gazelle and a guy called Max, I can't remember his surname, that have been doing this. Yeah, I think they said they got this much done in about 6 weeks. I'm not too sure on the actual route in real life myself. I don't know where a lot of these branches go off to or anything like that. It's not something I've done and paid that much attention to in real life. I do have to have a good look at it and check and see, if I'm honest. Before the new route comes, before the final version comes out, I'll know it pretty well, I think. You'll notice I'm suffering with quite a bit of tile load and stutter at the minute. I know what's causing it, but it's not the same reason that you will have. It's to do with something in my file structure at the minute. Now again, before we pull into Wakefield Westgate, please remember this is work in progress. There are definite things that need doing to it. And there's a really good group of people that know the route very well, that are helping out with it, and they know the route brilliantly. Very pretty, isn't it? Very, very pretty. Looks really, actually, I never thought I'd really like the LED headlights on it, but I actually really do. Fantastic. It's 25 to part here until we're over these points, then I think it's back up to 100, I think, some point. So 10 miles to Leeds now. No, 75. I just really like how it's captured it. It's captured the feel for the route. Now, it's not what I know majorly, but if I look at pictures or in any magazine when there's been a picture from this line, I feel you can tell kind of where we are. I know that's probably hard to grasp and hard to explain. Like, you notice a lot of like, the station labels and that undone and things like that, they are all being done. So it is going to be a really nice route. I'm very, very pleased with it, really. It's great how it's turned out. And considering, like I said, it's 6 weeks' work, it's pretty good going. Iron occlusions. Tunnel occlusions need doing. So it's quite nice. After this sounds, it's quite nice driving the 91 quite sedately. With the 91, your train handling with it is relatively simple because you get it to 125 and you come down to 115, 110, 100 stop. You get it back up to 125, you do 120, 115, 105, 100 stop. It's nice to do it at a slower pace, and yes, while I'm still using the speed set, you haven't to still brake and use the remember the power settings and all of that. It's quite nice. It's a nice little run. I haven't done this in a DVT yet. I haven't done it the other way in a DVT yet. In fact, I haven't done it Leeds to Doncaster yet at all. It's very rare you have to do 60 with a 91 set. That's it loading in the tile for Leeds now. There we go, load it in. We hit a red just before Leeds. 8:20, ETA is 90, so we're basically dead on time, which means I think I have to be a bit careful with the signals here. Yeah. Sneak check of what is ahead, if there is anything, because if not I can tab. Yeah, that will look fine. clear into Leeds. So I'm still really satisfied I'm actually pulling into Leeds in this. And soon you guys will be able to do it too. And this is the same Leeds that's on Harrod Loop. This was made by Wagons, if I remember rightly. I do just want to grab with that HST there as well is actually a screenshot. And that is us at Leeds. What else have we got in? Pacers, 158. Oh, 332, which is the, sorry, 333, which is the weird 365 reskin. But from a distance, to be fair, it kind of works. That's BH reskins, that is. So there you have it, guys. I will keep you well updated about what's going on with this. As I said, the reskin, this exact version won't be available. One that's just as good will be from TSD very, very soon. Once again, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you next time. Look after yourselves.